Hello and welcome back to TF1C, the Formula 1 chat. We're here with our Austrian F3 GP review. Decent little weekend in Austria. I think F3 for once was the least chaotic race. Yeah. Like they actually kept it on track the most. Mm-hmm. In all the other series, we've had loads of penalties. Whereas this one, well, more in the feature than the sprint, very chilled. Relation. I think the wet helped that.
Yeah.
Because drivers were less likely just to send it down the inside and hope for the best. So, yeah, and obviously there was no changeable conditions like we saw in F2, which I think caused most of the chaos there. Yeah. So, I do think the fact that it was a little bit wet, well, it was completely soaked, helped Formula 3 be a little bit more disciplined. So, yeah, qualifying. Isack Hadjar, first pole in Formula 3.
As you predicted, as expected.
I did, yeah.
Red Bull Junior on pole. He really, though, I'll be honest, he was the only Red Bull Junior that had a good quali session.
Yeah, Crawford, though.
Crawford was down in 10th.
It's pretty much the only one,
Edgar
right?
was 7th.
And Edgar's only back now, so he's been out for a while, so that kind of makes sense. Just it was Hadjar, Martins, Ollie Bearman. What a guy. Brilliant drive from him. Brilliant lap. Arthur Leclerc, P5 was...
Caleb Frederick.
Yes. He had quite a weird weekend.
6th was Roman Stanek. 7th, Johnny Edgar. 8th, who's that in 8th? Maloney. 9th, Colapinto. 10th, Jak Crawford.
And then 12th on sprint race, reverse group.
11th was, Correa. 12th was Colette.
Yeah, Colette was right up there.
Colette and Correa on the front row for the sprint race.
And those two, Correa was leading. His engine went pop.
In the sprint.
So Crawford then... and Colette was behind him. Crawford then passed Colette. Crawford went on to win. Colette took P2. And Colapinto went on to take P3. Pretty much the next three drivers after Correa.
Yeah, not much else really happened.
Other than Bearman, Leclerc, and Maloney all coming together. So it was Stanek 4th. Stanek 4th, Maloney 5th, Bearman 6th,
at the time of
Leclerc 7th. Leclerc tried to go down the inside of Bearman, who was then kind of forced into going for Maloney.
3 and 1.
Leclerc's move was reckless. It was late on Bearman. It was even later on Maloney. He just sent it.
Yeah.
Almost made contact with Edgar, and then just basically squeezed Bearman between him and Maloney. Yeah. Maloney on the outside on the sausage curve as well caused Bearman and Maloney. Well, Maloney was out there. Bearman dropped down.
Bearman
then later penalised for track limits, and that threw him outside the points. But Leclerc got P4 because he wasn't penalised for that incident, which is interesting.
I think that's a big sort of. You mentioned there, track limits was a big talking point of the weekend. In all series, F3, F2 and F1.
Yeah, the problem is it's a really fast circuit with a lot of curbs quite close to the track. It's very tight, I'd argue, Austria, I think. Especially because we've just been at Silverstone, which is like the widest track in the world. But it's quite tight in places, and that caught a lot of drivers out. It caught Sergio Perez out in qualifying Formula 1. Obviously, that put him down to 13th. A lot of Red Bull drivers caught out by it in their qualifying sessions. Onto the feature. Go on in the sprint race.
Leclerc was 4th, Stanek 5th, Frederick 6th, Edgar 7th, and Victor Martins picked up the single point.
Martins got 3 points. Hadjar 1 from the Spielberg sprint race.
No, sorry. Oh, so it's top 10, isn't it?
Yes.
That was 4 and 3. Yeah, Smolly 9th, Hadjar 10th.
Yeah, so Hadjar and Martins both picked up points, so Leclerc's P4 didn't really matter in the grand scheme of the championship there. Going on to the feature then, Hadjar from the lead went on to win it. Dominant from Hadjar, really wasn't under much pressure. P2.
Top 4 stayed the same. It was Martins 2nd, Bearman 3rd, Leclerc 4th.
Bearman, very very strong pace, but again, no one could really do anything. He was under pressure from Leclerc, but Leclerc couldn't really make a move. Martins was close to Hadjar, but never really could make a move. Very buzzing to see Bearman on the podium, though. It's actually fantastic. He deserved one in the sprint. His pace looked fantastic. I think if it had been dry, Bearman would have possibly been the favourite to win it. He looked really, really strong in dry pace on Saturday. So
the only really things happened in the feature race first was the Charus inter-team battle.
Oh my god!
Let's get one out.
It's been going on for weeks now. Silverstone, we got a safety car for it.
Because Toth and Chauvenet.
This weekend,
it was Pitsy and Chauvenet.
Yeah, it's just an absolute shit show going on.
Those three really don't like each other. And the other talking point was obviously the safety car restart, where Edgar and Crawford ended up both round at turn 1.
Oh yeah, that was
it safety car restart?
It was off the safety car, yeah.
What caused the safety car?
Bit of a mess. Was it?
Yes, Chauvenet in the gravel.
Yeah, I was going to say it was either that or Alatolo going pop.
He also went pop, yeah.
Oh wait, no, that was in the sprint.
Mal
okay,
Steety
ignore
was
me.
round at turn 10 at one point. Don't know what
Oh yeah, no, there was an incident, wasn't there, at the final corner between Pitsy and Chauvenet. That was the first one.
They got going.
And Malvostiti turned up and went, "Oh shit, I want to get involved in this spinning here."
He got it going again. Chauvenet then
fine.
got beached in the gravel earlier. Safety car. Crawford got hit off the restart. I was furious.
Yeah.
Made me sad. Rounding out the top 10 then. 5th was Maloney. 6th was Roman Stanek. 7th was Franco Colapinto. 8th Smoliar. Alatolo 9th.
Yeah. It was a double points finish for the Genza Motorsports of Ido Cohen and William Alatolo.
Great weekend for them.
Very strong, yeah, indeed.
As I said, losers were Edgar, Crawford, and Frederick ended up down the order as well. We also saw O'Sullivan round at some point.
It was pretty much a routine championship weekend though.
Yeah.
Martins had his lead somewhat cut down by Isack Hadjar. And that was a point between them. Martins 98, Hadjar 97. That's very exciting. Leclerc close as well with 91. Stanek and Crawford dropped off massively though, 4th and 5th respectively. Bearman started to get involved in that fight for 4th. He's only 11 points off Crawford, 16 off Stanek. So I think we could see a little bit of a battle there. Colapinto's way off that. He's close to Collette, Smoliar, O'Sullivan, all them kind of lower top 10 in the championship. And then everyone else is never going to make it. I think Frederick's done all right recently, but he started the season poorly, and that's hurt him. Well, he's had just strange races here and there. Vidales had a really tough weekend here, but he has done all right in other areas of the season. Maloney's just chaotic. I mean,
that man.
Yeah, he was unfortunate in the sprint. He deserved points from that, and that would have had him ahead of O'Sullivan. But yeah, I know Sullivan, he really struggled this weekend as well.
Yeah, Formula 3 will return in Budapest.
So nothing in France. So I thought it was all series at France.
No, so Formula 3 will return in 3 weeks.
Okay. Well, that's smart then, rather than having everything going on in France, because I believe W Series and F2 are there. They've moved F3 to the week after. So that's going to be super, super dull because no one wants to watch more Hungarian Grand Prix. One of them's enough. I don't want to.
Equally, Formula 3 might be the only series that can make it interesting.
Yeah. No. It's so... I don't even think they can.
No.
I think the only thing that will happen is like weird mistakes because it's just such a boring track.
So dull.
And it's signed for another 14 years, so that's exciting. Love that. But Spa and... Paul Ricard could risk out. Paul Ricard wasn't really a good circuit. Last season produced a fantastic race.
Even the F2.
I think with closer racing, we'll have a really good Grand Prix this year. But, and at least we've got Hungary for the next 13 years.
Only 4 rounds to go now for Formula 3. Budapest, Spa, Zandvoort, and then they finish their season in Monza. So, it's really important now you get the points in.
I really don't understand why Formula 3 finished so early but F2 don't. Because F2 need to finish earlier before F1 teams make their decisions of who's going to be the drivers next season, so that the champion has a chance to be in a seat.
I don't know.
But, it's strange. Anyway, that's about all for today. Formula 3 had a decent weekend. I'm going to run through some of the other... actually, we've already done the championship, haven't we?
Yeah.
Constructors...
Why not?
Love it. Prema's top with 220 points. It's then AR2 134. So that's all you need to know. Prema have won the Constructors pretty much. They might as well confirm it. They've picked... at Silverstone they picked up 49 in the feature, 6 in the sprint. Here they got 18 in the sprint, 27 in the feature. No one's outperforming them at any weekends, really.
That's Prema.
Looking back, there's always one of them up there. It was only the first weekend where ART did a bit of a madness. Saucy was up there, Martins was up there, and Correa. They all had a good weekend. Since then, so inconsistent from Saucy and Correa. Yeah. Martins, though, has had a really good season. He's picked up 98 points, ART only have 134. I think that says it all, really. Anyway, that is all for today. If you like the other feeder series, and of course Formula 1, our reviews of them will be out later today, about an hour or so after this. We have got a week off racing, then it's back with the French Grand Prix. No Formula 3 there, but there will be Formula 3 the week after, because we've got another double header before 4 weeks summer break.
Yeah.
Just gonna miss it. Gonna miss all the racing.
Yeah.
We'll definitely make some other content during that time for the F1 channel. I'll just leave it dead. So yeah, that is all though for today. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and get involved in the comment section. What did you think of the race? What do you think of the championship? Who do you think is going to win it? That's all for today though. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.